What's up, Vetters? Patrick here with Vetted. Today we're talking about Ross Coulthart and some comments he recently made on News Nation.
I can tell you, I don't think I'm giving anything away here. I can tell you that there is going to be a video coming out, I hope relatively soon, from our friends at Skywatcher.
All right, Vetters, please hit that like button. That really helps out the videos. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Y'all, I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So Ross Coulthart recently gave some very fascinating updates about Skywatcher and what they have coming next. Take a listen to this.
Dear Ross, firstly, thank you for all the time and effort you invest in trying to clarify and expose information which is legitimately belongs to humanity per se. I was fascinated by your interview with Jake Barber. He is both courageous and selfless. I understand and endorse his efforts to control the narrative somewhat because I trust him to be rigorous and exercise moral responsibility with the matter of disclosure. I am equally impressed with the journey Brandon Fugel has both enabled and undergone and would thank him. His unnerving and dogged determination is inspiring and is unfortunately what it's going to take. Thank you for your recent interview with him. My question is as follows. It has been evident since the first TV series filmed at Skinwalker Ranch that the phenomena is aware of the intention of investigators. Jake's initiative is enabled by the use of psionics, the deliberate use of intentional thought. In your opinion, would it be productive for Travis and Jake to cooperate by creating a joint but discrete supplementary investigation to help clarify how the physical manifestation is related to the forces of intention and telepathy?
Oh, that's a really interesting question. So basically, the idea of getting collaboration between Travis Taylor from Skinwalker Ranch and Jake Barber, who's taken interest in psionics. I can tell you, I don't think I'm giving anything away here. I can tell you that there is going to be a video coming out, I hope relatively soon, from our friends at Skywatcher. That's the Jake Barber, Alex Clokus privately funded group that are investigating UAP phenomena and trying to use psionic summoning and the dog whistle to bring UAP objects, craft close in so that they can be videoed, photographed and studied. They are doing a study on psionics. They've spoken publicly about this in their previous videos. I think they've done interviews where they've talked about the fact that they are going to be studying telepathy and psionics. And I'm really excited. I'm aware of some of the work that they've been doing, and I'm really excited. I'm told they are in the peer review process at the moment, and it's taking a lot longer than expected. I am assured there is no cover-up underway, that they are going to be fully open and transparent, and I'm looking forward at some stage to interviewing either Alex or Jake or somebody from Skywatcher about it. But they are tied up in a very rigorous peer review process that is part of their own internal vetting and checking procedures. But at some stage, very, very soon, quite exciting work that I'm aware of that they've been doing with telepathy will be being made public. Watch this space.
All right, so that's very interesting. They have a new video coming out and some information that I guess they're still collating the data, and their peer-reviewed studies of psionics. That is interesting. I don't know if I'd heard of that yet, to be honest with you, but maybe they have said it. But this is interesting. I mean, clearly I'm making a documentary about psionics, so I'm interested about these peer-reviewed studies, and I was able to interview Mike Batista, formerly of Skywatcher, about psionics. I'll put a link in the description of that interview if you want to check it out. But basically, during that interview, Mike was very adamant he couldn't talk about Skywatcher. So this led you to working with Skywatcher. I know you're probably not sure how much you want to talk about that.
I can't answer any questions about Skywatcher at all, especially if it's phrased in the question, mentioned Skywatcher. I'm going to have to pass over that one. But that career event was a catalyst that led me into working with, military contractors as a psionic asset.
Why you can't talk about Skywatcher?
I'm under NDAs with them, and it's just I'm not this isn't a Skywatcher interview. So,
and they're also talking about, they're going to be transparent and no need to worry, all these things, because that's kind of what's happened recently. I think the word on the street is just people have been a little bit upset maybe that, they haven't really put out statements or said anything for months. They just kind of went off, just kind of went silent, and then that was kind of the end of it. And a bunch of people were leaving Skywatcher, so people just didn't know what was going on, right? That's essentially it. But it sounds like now they're coming back into the game, and I look forward to see what they, put out at this point. I think they just got a lot of pressure to sort of make a statement now, because just like a week ago, Ross Coulthart was saying this.
Interview with them. Hopefully this would be something that they can agree to and not be restricted by any NDAs.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Look, I have heard about an incident which I have not been told about officially. I'm aware that 2 psionic operators went off on their own. They weren't wearing cameras. They weren't carrying any kind of video equipment. And in the course of an encounter, a summoning that they were trying to do privately, an object, a craft, did apparently land in front of them. I'm assuming that this story is being held back by Alex Clokus and Skywatcher for what I'm told we can expect to be the next installment of their videos that they're producing, which they often put up online. They've put two or three previous videos up online. And this next one's meant to be on psionics. I've invited Alex Clokus, Skywatcher, multiple times. We have an open invitation to Skywatcher to appear. I do think, in the interests of public disclosure, it would be great to get somebody from Skywatcher on at some stage to talk about what they're up to, because it's one of the things we get questions about more than most. People are really interested and excited and happy to see that there is an organisation that's properly funded, that's doing good work investigating UAPs. And they have, including to me, made multiple promises about being transparent and open. And I am, like everyone else, getting frustrated with the degree of secrecy surrounding the Skywatcher operation. I can only assume it's because they want to make their own films and do their own media, and we welcome that, but it would be great at some stage to get Alex Clokus, Jake, anybody else from Skywatcher who's interested in coming on and talking, to actually talk about what they've been doing, especially with the psionics. And yes, we've heard about this incident involving an alleged landing. Carl Crusher mentioned it to me when we were doing the work with Magic Mike Batista a few weeks ago, and we really haven't heard any more.
So again, I think just, even Ross Coulthart was frustrated, right? So I think just, people were just like, what's going on? Just, we don't know what's happening, right? So people are just going to assume a lot of things if you don't communicate what your next steps are, what's going on. And then if, to be fair to the audience, right? Okay, I'm going to stick up for the audience here, because maybe people from Skywatcher are like, hey, we're just trying to do our thing. Leave us alone. Well, hang on a second, right? Skywatcher came out and made some of the biggest claims in the history of humanity, if not the biggest claim. They were going to provide disclosure within 12 months with the help of the U.S. government.
Yeah, this is why I know disclosure is coming. And guess what? It's going to come out in the most beautiful way. I believe the United States government in the next 12 months is going to use me and my team as a peaceful, non-judgmental path forward to disclosure. They're going to help us conduct our operations and gather evidence in order to present this subject matter to the public so that these questions can be answered once and for all. And all the questions. I'm talking about, what do the craft look like? How do they operate? Who is operating them? How are they being operated? And where are they coming from? We should be able to answer those questions probably entirely in the next 12 months.
People are going to want to know what's going on. What are you doing? Right? You made a huge claim within 12 months, right? That was going to happen. So yes, people are wondering what is happening. Again, even Ross Coulthart wasn't getting any, movement. And then again, people start leaving, people start moving. I had that video that I put out about Skywatcher landing a craft, right? That Carl had told me about, Carl Crusher, while I was filming my documentary. So, I mean, yes, people just wanted to know what was happening. That's literally it. I think a lot of people are excited, but they start to get less excited when they start to feel an air of secrecy when transparency is what was promised, right? Now, granted, I get to a certain point, you can't be transparent, right? But again, there was just no statements put out for months. We just didn't know what was happening, really. James Fowler had left. Again, a lot of Skywatcher assets had left, including Mike Batista, right? He signed NDAs and can't talk about Skywatcher, and he's no longer doing stuff with Skywatcher, I think. I don't know. Maybe he'll go back to it. I don't know. It sounds like he's doing his own thing from what I could tell from talking to him. But either way, I look forward to peer-reviewed studies of psionics. Let's go, man. Let's go. I'll be presenting very soon my experience with psionics over the course of the summer with all kinds of people, right? On the road, boots on the ground, baby. That's why I'm, wearing a sleeveless here in Florida on the road, ready to head back home, to be honest with you. But yeah, just very interesting. That's all I'm saying. Just very, very interesting. So yeah, wait and see what comes out next. All right, betters, links down below. We'll see you guys on the next one. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.
Hello, Panther. My name is Mark. That's all I want to say for now. We're going to, there's some people that related to Skywatchers. Let's put it this way, not on the scientific end, the psionic end. And some other people, we're planning an event, but it's going to be only told to people where this is going to happen at the last minute. It's going to involve no scientific people, about 20 or 30 people with certain types of abilities in a remote type area, a lot of cameras, and this time it's going to be full contact, coming up, talking to us. It's already starting to happen to all of us. They're just not talking on TV. They are starting to land and talk and give directions and stuff that they want to do. So these intelligences are running the disclosure now by our government. So when that happens, I will call you and I'll leave you a message of where approximately it's going to happen. I'll give you a day or two so you can prepare, airfare and stuff, but you're going to want to be there, okay? Because it's going to be historical. It's going to be filmed. And then it's going to be given to all of you, and you can put it on all your channels. Let's consider it a form of cosmic civil disobedience. All right, Patrick, keep up the good work.